Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a new series that I like to call Watch List, or maybe I'll just call it like what I will watch, something along those lines. I thought this was an interesting series because I get to talk about what I'm going to watch, and it gives me more of a drive to actually go through with these watches and hold myself accountable. And more importantly, I think it creates a bit of a film club situation where you guys know what I'm watching, so maybe going into the month, you can know what to expect in the what I watched this month and watch these films yourself, or as many of them as you can. This is a great month to start this series with because we got horror month coming up, so there's a lot of horror movies to watch. We have the Chicago International Film Festival, which I have decided I'm going to go hard on this year, and there's just a lot of new exciting movies coming out, so let's dive right into it. Starting with Blitz, a film that I am going to be seeing at the Chicago International Film Festival. I'm super excited about it. It's the latest from Steve McQueen. I've heard really good things. I've really liked the last few things Steve McQueen has done. I never finished his Small Axe series, but the stuff that I did watch from that series were phenomenal. So yeah, it's good to see him back in the, narrative filmmaking thing. The film looks incredible based on the trailer. Saoirse Ronan is back. That's another thing. I can't remember the last time I saw a Saoirse Ronan movie, so really excited. We have Anora, perhaps my most anticipated movie of this entire year at this point. I was so excited for this at Cannes. Obviously ended up missing it, which is just, the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. You guys know how much I love Sean Baker, like arguably my favorite filmmaker working today, and apparently this is his big one. Like apparently this is the best he's ever been, so don't think you need to hear much about Anora at this point. Besides, I'm just really fucking excited for this thing. Comes out on my birthday, by the way. That's pretty neat. Seed of a Sacred Fig, which I heard was kind of the follow-up for the Palme d'Or this year. If it weren't Anora, it would have been this. Heard a lot of great things about this. Honestly, I'm going to kind of not look at the synopsis. I don't know much about the movie. I am learning just now that it is 168 minutes, which is fun. But I've heard just incredible things about this. It's also one of my most anticipated from the Chicago International Film Festival, so very much looking forward to that. First one that's not Chicago International, I'm kind of going out of order. I don't know why I picked this next, but Cure, the Kiyoshi Kurosawa film. I'm watching this for two reasons. Three reasons. The main one is that it's a classic. I have never seen it. I've only heard amazing things. I bought the Criterion so that I would have more of a reason to just sit down and go through it. Two, I hear it's a Monkey Mondays movie, so that's really exciting. Three, I will be seeing Kurosawa's new film Cloud at the Chicago International Film Festival. I'll be talking about that one in a second, but Cure is kind of his big one. People say it's a masterpiece, so really looking forward to diving into this one on a Monday. There it is, Cloud. His next film, his new 2024 release. The reviews look good. I've only just recently learned about this through my buddy, so I don't know a ton about this. I'm not someone that likes to read. I'm not going to read the synopsis right now, but I've never seen any of his films, so I truly have zero expectations, but I am very excited. Just based on what I've heard about him as a filmmaker. Ephus, this is a big one I missed at Cannes. Not a ton of people have talked about it, but it's a new film by Karsten. He's usually a cinematographer. He shot Christmas Eve at Miller's Point, which is a film I did see at Cannes that I really, really enjoyed. It's part of the same production company as far as I know, but either way, it looks really interesting. It's a movie about baseball. It's a small budget indie. I've heard really great things about it though, so I'm super excited. It just seems like it's coming out of a scene that has proven to be very successful with me personally. Universal Language, another film I was really bummed to miss at Cannes. Gonna be catching this one at Chicago International. It's directed by Matthew Rankin, who directed 20th Century a few years ago, or The 20th Century, I forget. Canadian filmmaker who, that film, 20th Century, was really interesting. It was very bizarre. One of the weirdest movies I've ever seen, but I really liked how ambitious it was, even if it didn't 100% work for me. I hear Universal Language is the funniest thing in the world. I've heard it's really funny. The reviews have been pretty good. Just based on what I've been hearing, it just seems like a kind of thing that I'm gonna love. So really looking forward to that one. All We Imagine Is Light, also one I missed at Cannes. I've heard incredible things about this one. Mainly, I've heard a lot of people say that it was severely snubbed, even being considered for the Oscars. It wasn't even submitted for India. So very curious about this one. Don't know anything about it other than I've heard great things. I missed it at Cannes. Should be great. Gonna see it at Chicago International. Nickel Boys, another one I am seeing at Chicago International. This is one that I've heard like overwhelming praise for. I have a friend who has read the book, or maybe he's gonna read the book, who said the book is supposed to be amazing too. So I might try to read that before seeing it at Chicago International, but I think this one premiered at Venice. Again, the praise for this one has been really good. So don't know a whole lot other than that, but I'm looking forward to it. The Brutalist might be tied with Anora, if I'm being honest, for most anticipated of the year. Talk about praise. This thing is, people are talking about it like it's the next fucking Godfather at this point. And I'm trying to lower my expectations a bit. I'm going in with, you know, we'll see how it holds up. I'm super excited. I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to see it in 70. I mean, the theater I will be seeing it at usually projects things in 70. I don't know if they will be doing that for this. This is part of the Chicago International thing. I have to double check, but either way, I'm hyped that I was able to secure a ticket for this, and I'm gonna have such a good time. Really curious about it. Yeah, as much as I've heard about it and as hyped as it's been, I still don't know a ton of specifics other than Adrian Brody delivers like an all-timer. I know it's kind of an American dream type thing, and it has a similar vibe to The Godfather, but other than that, I have no clue what this is going to be like. So really, and I really like Brady Corbet. I really liked Vox Lux. So, and he was great in Mysterious Skin. So yeah, really, really looking forward to this one. No Other Land, another film that I've heard really great things about. It's a documentary about basically what's happening between Palestine and Israel, which is obviously tragic and horrifying. And I'm shocked that I haven't seen a ton of movies about this, or a ton of like documentaries, or have heard of a ton of them. But I've heard that this is a really good one. It's a new one that premiered at Venice. David Ehrlich, who I trust most of the time, has praised the shit out of it. So I prioritized this one in my Chicago International schedule, and I'm super excited to check this one out. Amelia Perez, one that I actually did have tickets for this at Cannes, and but I was hungover. And it was like a 9 a.m. screening, and it was like an hour away, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't care how much I want to see Selena Gomez. I'm not going to do it. And so I missed it, but gonna see it at Chicago International, not hungover, so that's going to be incredible. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. I've heard some people say it's way better than you think it's going to be. I've heard some people say it's overhyped. So really, it could go anywhere for me. I'm very curious about it. Had there not been hype at Cannes, I don't think I would have any interest in seeing this. It doesn't really look like my thing. I probably would have seen it regardless, but either way, I have no idea what to expect. I could go all over the place on this one. Now we're getting into the non-Chicago International ones. This is one that I'm going to a screening of in person. They're doing a wonderful Pressburger and Powell series over at the Gene Siskel Film Center. And this is the one I secured a ticket for, but I'm going to try to see some others. But Matter of Life and Death, I've heard this is one of their best. I can't seem to find it anywhere online, so I was like, I need to see this one in person while I can. That's about all I know about it. I'm really looking forward to it. They have hit it out of the park with everything I've seen from them, so I'm expecting it to be pretty great. Multiple Maniacs, one of the only John Waters movies I still haven't seen. It's like this one, actually there's quite a few, but this is like a big one. This is an OG John Waters film, one of his classics, some might say. I have had this on my horror watch list for years now, and I've never gotten around to it. I don't even know, can we count this as a horror? It says horror. We're gonna count it. Yeah, it looks bizarre. Inland Empire. Some of you are gonna go fucking bananas over this one, but still have never seen it. I was going to see it for that David Lynch video, and then I had COVID, so I missed the screening, and at that time I didn't know where to find it. I know there were probably links online, but I didn't bother. But it's been available for years now on Criterion, and it is time to get around to it. Not only because it's I think you can count it as a horror, definitely. I mean, it looks horrifying, the stuff that I've seen about it. But it's also a Monkey Mondays movie, apparently, thanks to someone in my Instagram DMs recently who told me that. There's so many boxes it will check off for this month, so it is time to watch Inland Empire. No excuses. Possession. That's another big one. Another huge blind spot of mine that I have no expectations going into. I know people have said I'll probably love it. I know it's widely regarded as a classic, one of the greatest horror movies ever made. I've never seen it, and honestly, that's because it's been hard to find online, but similar to Inland Empire, it's been available for like years now. Like it's been out there, so there's no excuse anymore. With the horror month coming up, this is one of the you know, one of the ones to prioritize. So really looking forward to it. An American Werewolf in London, apparently also a Monkey Mondays movie. Another horror movie that has been on my horror watch list for a while. I think it's made it onto every single time I've made a Spooktober watch list, and it's the one that I miss every single year. So another one that I am just kind of like, let's bust it out this year. No excuses. Let's do American Werewolf because it's also a Monkey Mondays movie. I Stand Alone, which is the one Gaspar Noé film I haven't seen, the one Gaspar Noé feature, I should say. I even talked about it in my damn Gaspar Noé video, but didn't actually watch it. I don't go in depth about it, like I don't lie or anything, but it's like, yeah, it just feels crazy that I haven't seen his first feature, the one that kicked everything off. I heard it's very disturbing. I know it says it's not streaming anywhere. I'll find it. Yeah, I'm excited. The tagline is "In the bowels of France." We'll watch it, sure. Nosferatu, another one that's been on my watch list for a while. Never seen it. Think it's going to be great. They are showing it at my local theater, so I'll probably try to go see it in person if I have the opportunity. I also am kind of like, well, I'm really excited for the Robert Eggers film, and I feel like I don't even feel like I know I have to watch this before seeing it. So, yeah, this is, if there was ever a year to check out Nosferatu, it's this year. The Housemaid. No big reason for why this is on here other than it's a Korean classic, an iconic Korean horror movie that I have been also wanting to watch for a while, mostly because the poster is so damn cool. But yeah, looks really interesting. That's it. Just excited to check it out, a horror movie. And lastly, we have The Blob, the 1988 version, which has also been on my watch list for a while. I was not crazy about the original The Blob. I thought it was so bland and frankly boring for what it was. It's like, damn, that's what we did with The Blob. But this one seems to have much better reviews. It seems to get it right from what I've heard. So another one that I'm like, let's just do it. Let's just crank out The Blob this year. And that is what I plan on watching in October. There is obviously going to be a lot more than that. And I don't even know if I'll get around to all of these, but this seems very doable. I don't know why I wouldn't watch all of these. I hopefully will watch more. There actually are more Chicago International films that I don't have tickets for, but I'm gonna like try to get tickets for. I kind of want to see that new Almodovar movie, so we'll see about that. But this is what I got. That's it. Thank you guys. See you in November.